Welcome to Lamb Living. My name is Holly Lamb, and I'm thrilled to be bringing you some wedding pictures. My daughter Hope married Chandler Gilding on October 7th, 2023, in a beautiful ceremony at our church, St. Simon's United Methodist. It was a gorgeous day. We spent it with lots of our friends and family at the church, and then we celebrated at the King and Prince, a resort near the church on the ocean. And we had a dinner reception that Kevin and I made name cards for all of our favorite people. And this was what was out at the cocktail hour out in the, it was on the lawn there by the beach is where we had cocktail hour. There's Toby. He didn't go, but he is my favorite little puppy. But this was out there. I didn't get a picture of that. But here is the Delagal room there at the King and Prince. That's where we ate dinner. And Kevin and I made an oyster shell with everyone's first name on it. So there's mine on a beautiful velvet napkin. And we handmade those all for all of our guests there in the dining room. And then everybody was, of course, invited to take that home as a keepsake of the wedding. All right, so Hope and I went on this hunt for oyster shells. This is the Beach Bum down in the village here on St. Simon's, and we were able to find 2 bags of oyster shells. Each bag was $10, and they were, some of them were in good shape, some were a little rough, some were too small, some were big. Okay. I went on out to their warehouse.
Painting oysters.
Oysters, I love oysters. No, grandmama loves oysters.
Oh, yes. Does grandmama love oysters?
Oh, yes.
Fried. Oh.
Fried. Should have went.
Oh, fighting words.
There's second coat.
I got a little hair or something. Toby hair.
Here's the first coat. You can still see the black dot.
Yep.
That
second coat is good.
Possibly 3. We'll see. Everybody smile.
Love you. Grandmommy, glam mommy.
Yay.
Okay, so we have cleaned the oysters and we have painted, show that side, show the white side. We've painted them 2 coats to cover up the inside of the oyster and the black dot. And so now Kevin is going to give them a few coats. We're going to start with one of Rust-Oleum Matte Clear. I've already shaken it up. I've already shaken it up.
I'm just giving it a shake on my side.
Okay, so I had to go out to the warehouse for the Beach Bum, which is in Glenn County out on 341, and got a 3rd bag. So we spent $30 on enough oyster shells for all of our guests. We ended up having 170 at the reception, and then we had some extras that were, not perfect. None of them were absolutely perfect, but they were beautiful nonetheless. We wanted them in that natural kind of neat state. I used rice paper to print out the names, and I liked this rice paper. We printed out 5 names on each page because when I get it wet, the rice paper really formed to the shell. Of course, every shell was different because we went with these really, natural, actual oyster shells. We didn't do anything synthetic. These were real. And we put the 2 coats there of the white paint on the shell to hide all the coloring on the inside. But we wanted the back to stay natural, so that's why we just put that matte clear on the back. And then here I am. I wanted the shell to sit nicely. So however it naturally wanted to sit is the way I wanted to configure the name. And so it naturally wanted to kind of lean back like that. So I put Carolyn, a friend of ours. She works with Kevin at church. She's one of the financial secretary at church. And so I was working on hers right there. And I had a real big, deep part on one side, and so I used just that black paintbrush there, which just had water on it, and I tore the paper and then just kind of melded it right into that white paint. And then I took my finger and I kind of burnished it down onto the edges, so that when we put the coats of the gloss Mod Podge, which is all we used for this in the end, I thought maybe we'd put resin in it or something. But honestly, the gloss Mod Podge, we put 4 coats after we got it decoupaged.
What
so
you
there's
doing?
The decoupage.
You know it. I am making oyster shell place cards.
What's
I
this?
have glue all over me. My fingers are raw from sanding and filing.
Oh, let's see what he's got. He's got a fancy file here. I just used these. This is the ones I gave him. This wasn't good enough for Mr. Kevin.
I had to
his
get
big garage.
aggressive.
Yeah, he had to get the big file. Let's see what he got. Nice. This is probably good too. Want to tell him what you're doing?
No, you'll have to voice over that.
You put your oyster on, then you pencil wide. So he's cutting inside the pencil line.
Very wide.
Very wide. Whoops. And there we go. Look at there. We got Robin and Jolette. All these wonderful friends and family. Gloss Mod Podge. It turned out to be the winner to make them nice and shiny. Looks like he just painted these.
Second coat.
Second coat. We're going for 4 coats. We find kind of self-levels and makes it a little bit smoother. I'll show you some of my finished ones. So he sets the oyster to see how it wants to sit. So when we set it on the plate, or when the King and Prince staff sets it on the plate, it's going to sit up nicely. So we take that into account, how each of them want to sit. So he's got all the ones that we painted. 2 coats. Did we do 2 coats on those? Of the white linen by Rust-Oleum.
Yes, 2 coats. Sometimes 3.
Right. And then we're going to matte clear with the Rust-Oleum spray the backs, but we're putting gloss on the front. And we're painting on the Mod Podge because I feel like it's just easier for us because we're working at night. So taking them all outside and inside, and it's just doggone hot right now. Did you think this was a father of the bride thing to do?
Me?
Yes.
No, but
Well, you're the father of the bride.
It's going to take every day.
Yeah, both of us working. You know where I work. I'm in the kitchen. And this is Kevin's little man room out here in the garage room.
Yeah, very manly making oyster shells.
You're doing a good job. And see, we got our buddy here. Hey, buddy. Toby's got a rug to sit on. And Kevin's got his shows on. Okay. Let's get back at our business in there. More oysters to paint gold. All right, so here we go with my Folk Art Metallic. I got this at Hobby Lobby. And I tried Rub and Buff. I tried a couple of different golds. But this is the one that, was the winner. I tried a few oysters just for practice. And this one was the one that looked the best. After I did 2 coats, sometimes 3, if it was a real rough back. On these first ones, I put about, an 1/8 of an inch of gold on the inside of the front of the shell. But as I went on through the over 100 shells that I did with the gold paint, I ended up putting more on the back side and less on the front, almost to where it just was a hint of gold on the front. And I'll show you kind of my evolution on painting and gold gilding these shells. Here's some of the finished ones that I just placed over here. I've been painting them gold. These are the ones I finished. Now Kevin's kind of keeping us going in there. Here's some more. See, McKenna's name is long, so she got a bigger shell, and the father of the bride, Bill, he got a little shell. He's got a short name. We were so happy with how they turned out. So that was after 3 coats, after it was decoupaged. And then here we are, just to show you, Kevin's was one of the first ones. You saw that in the previous video there. And then mine, I did almost last, one of the last ones. And because it was so rough on the back, I had to put a couple of, that's probably 3 coats to make it as smooth as it is. Because, of course, the paint's not super thick. It is acrylic paint. So I wanted it to be, you know, a little bit almost smooth. And so I did it until I liked it, honestly. But you know what? Everything turned out to be so beautiful. There were so many wonderful keepsakes, and the flowers were gorgeous. The cake was wonderful. And everybody just had such a wonderful time. We were just so thrilled. Then we had all the dances over in the ballroom, the linear ballroom. And there's Hope and Chandler's dance. And I put the names of the songs. And then Kevin sang I Loved Her First to Hope as he was dancing. And there's Renee, Chandler's mom. And then Hope had a big surprise for me because I was saying, who do I get to dance with? And they said, Mom, you don't get a dance. That's just for the mother of the groom and the father of the bride. But Hope surprised me, and there was Aaron, my son, was the first dance. And then Chandler cut in, and of course, here comes my dad. John came in for a dance, and the dance ended, of course, with Kevin, and it was the perfect song, my favorite, Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You. So we did it. We married her off. It was a great day. It was a great week, the whole week. And all of our guests were able to take a shell home from the rehearsal dinner. The Giedels did just a fabulous job with it. And then my sweet family is now grown. And I have my son and my daughter, and now my new son-in-law, Chandler. So thankful. 1 Thessalonians 1:2, we always thank God for all of you. And 1 Corinthians 13:13, so now faith, hope, and love abide. These 3, but the greatest of these is love. In this house, hope's pretty important too. So from the Blue House on the Corner, happy and thankful for our new family members. God bless. I'll see you next time.